I currently own 58 pieces in my capsule wardrobe, and I'm gonna show you that. Hopefully I can also surprise you that I own quite a lot of colors. It doesn't always have to be boring or black and white. This is my side of the wardrobe. I also have 3 compartments in a drawer that is just behind you. We'll go through that as well. But before we begin, I wanna touch on why minimalism is a journey. And I wouldn't say I'm actually there yet. There is still areas I wanna improve in life. However, I noticed the pattern, not everything is linear, not my progress, and sometimes I spiral back, pause, because I also want to consider other areas of my life when it comes to creating a simplified lifestyle. Sometimes it's more my physical health, my mental health, or other areas that I want to target. So yeah, maybe the closet is not as advanced as it could be. However, there is for me also an aspect of improvement and pressure. Pressure of always keeping the numbers down. An amount itself is not what minimalism is about. It's about the clarity, the space freedom that it will give you and how you can operate in your daily life. Talking about seasonal stuff, and I see that a lot of times on YouTube that people are splitting up their seasonal clothes. Why I'm not doing that? Reason one is I want to know exactly how many pieces I own, and this makes me also realize how much space I have, and I'm not tending to go and buy more clothes. I also find in Ireland you get quite a bit of a weather change. I always find it can be summer and winter at the same day, which is also why it makes no sense for me to store them in a different area. But also I learned from my past that every time I stored things away, I forgot about them, or I just bought more because I could see empty space, and that empty space I thought I need to fill. So this is one of the reasons that might be not as common why I'm not doing the seasonal. So let's begin with the top part, which are my pullovers. I currently own 3 of them. The first one I use mostly for hikings, outdoor events. It also has a hoodie. So it is very practical, and because it's a half zip, it really suits for that many occasions. Number 2 is a thicker wool pullover. I just love that it has a bit of a turtleneck. It keeps me warm. And my last one is actually a cardigan. It is one of my favorite pieces for many reasons, because I just love pullovers. I think it's one of my favorite items in my wardrobe, but also it fits over my dresses, especially this one. You can see that the arms are a bit puffy. When it comes to how I fold my clothes, usually I have a mix of fold and roll. So in this way I would roll them kind of, because then I can see everything, rather than just folding them and stocking them on top. And because they're only 3, everything fits in here very well. All right, let's move on. Throughout the video, I will use this little guy as a guide, because some of the clothes are currently washed, and I do want to be accurate because the numbers are written down here. So if you're missing some of the clothes, that's the reason why. I am very active. I go about 4 to 5 days a week to the gym, and for me, 1 or 2 outfits wouldn't do the job. It's just too much hassle. The clothes will not dry. So for me, it makes sense to have that amount assigned to my gym wear. So if you have an area or a sport that you do and you feel guilty of keeping that amount of clothes, I'll tell you it is okay. I own 6 pair of pants. I have 1 sweatpant, 2 long pants here, and the other one is in the wash. I have 2 shorts, 1 black one, another bordeaux. Then for the tops, I have 3 t-shirts, a crop top, and a long sleeve. With the bras, I'm fine with 3. They rotate very good. Now we are at my favorite category, and that is dresses. I own currently 11 dresses. I still think it's a bit much, but I just love dresses for so many reasons. One of them is their comfort level. If you're bloated or in your cycle, it's just overall gives so much comfort. Just putting one dress on and you're feeling put together. A bit of a style towards dresses. I like a maxi or midi one. I just like how I can walk however I want, I can sit without feeling that I am showing off too much skin. It just makes me uncomfortable, but also it works as well for my job. In corporate setting, I would still have to cover my tattoos, and long sleeve are usually working better as well in dresses. So when it comes to the style, I have various of things, and I try to not have similar things in color or such as duplicate. I liked the romantic style that it gives, or the option to have no sleeve and wear another dress on top, or just overall combine it in so many ways, as you can also use it as a skirt. Another type of clothes that I have in this section are my shirts. I'm currently owning 7 of them. One of my favorites is this one. It has those small little clouds patterns on it. I just find it so adorable. As I mentioned before, I have to cover my tattoos, and in summer or in general, blouses seem so romantic to me and are so versatile. I just have different styles. I have a violet one. My next category is vests and layers. I just love, they can elevate a look in so many ways. It gives a new character, and I'm a big fan as well of going to medieval festivals with this fur vest, for example. But also when it comes to work, I think this one is so versatile. It just gives you a good layer where you can wear it for so many settings. But yeah, and there is some other layers which I use to romanticize styles or keep me warm. I think layering is one of the golden things that you use as a minimalist to create your style, but also experiment with it. Now, we already reached the bottom of our closet here with that category: trousers, pants. So in total, I own 6. I have 2 trousers, which I usually wear for work, one in a navy. I have another one which is more wide-legged in this lovely, beige camel, I'd say. And another area which I'm still not sure if I keep it, because I do think 6 pants is a bit much. I have 2 more jeans, one like in a mom style, and the other one is quite baggy but straight leg. It's one of my favorite ones. That is about my pants. I have 3 compartments. The first one are actually my underwear, socks and ties and anything like that. I won't dive into that too much, so we're moving straight to compartment number 2, which are my t-shirts and my long sleeves. For t-shirts, and I have one of the layerings stored here. I won't dive into this section too much because they are my scarves. I'll cover that in a separate video. So as you can see, I don't own any of those basic white t-shirts that are often recommended in the minimalism content or genre as well. The reason for that is I just don't like to style t-shirts in a regular way. For me, it's not that type of style I have. I do have, for example, this one. I think this is the t-shirt that I wear on a regular basis, that I would say is kind of that t-shirt look as well, or maybe this one in summer. But when it comes to the other ones, I usually wear them just for layering. For example, this cashmere one, I just adore the color, and if you're just putting it underneath a dress or layering in general, it just gives that nice pop of color. And last one is this one. You've seen that one quite plenty on my videos. I think this is one of the most romantic blouses. This is a sign for you if you're struggling to build a capsule t-shirt, or in general, it just somehow you're struggling all the time with t-shirts. This is your sign. Get rid of it. There is no right or wrong way of practicing minimalism. It's all about creating the tools that are working for you, and I'm just sharing my way. All right, the second thing, I own 6 of them. One thing that is interesting to texture or visual, and the other thing is plain. For example, I love these kind of ruffles or style, or the one that you saw on the t-shirt. If you just wear something plain or simple color, it would just elevate the look. And one of my favorite combination is actually using this long sleeve underneath this dress. It just creates as well that romantic dynamic. And another one which I recently got, a turtleneck. I am tending to be quite cold often around my neck, which is also why I have a good collection of scarves. And I own a 3/4 here again, another cardigan, which is very handy. Those are things that I wear quite often as well now in the summer times or any kind of season, because they're so lightweight, breathable. We arrived at our last category, and the bottom compartment is quite fitting actually. So starting with my pajamas, I have here a short pajama. I have another one which is a dress which I'm currently using. Then I have one top. It is this linen shirt where I can just wear open, or in general just 2 layer as well. And then I have 2 mid-length, which are just a bit below the knee. They are so comfortable. I love to wear them, and they're actually often as well my loungewear. If I wouldn't wear one of the leggings, I wear my pajamas in the house or these t-shirts. I really love this combination. I think it just looks so comfy, and is just overall, I really learned that color is one of the things that makes me so happy when it comes to my wardrobe, to see the vibrance. And colors can actually be so neutral, and it's not just about going in the gray line. 3 leggings, 2 which I wear mostly underneath the dresses, and the good part is they have pockets, so if one of my dresses are not having pockets, I have a secret one. And yeah, sometimes I also wear them just as leggings, not as often for my gym though. And one just under layer for very cold winter days. This wraps everything up. I thank you so much for joining along on how my capsule wardrobe looks like currently with 58 pieces, and we talk soon.